My name is Kathy, and in today's video I'm going to be making some sweet onion jam. This recipe is from Linda over at Linda's Pantry. I watched her video a few years ago and it looked so good. I'm now finally going to make some for myself, and I'm going to bring you along with me. So let's get started. So first, what you're going to need is about 5 pounds of onion, and that's about 8 to 10 onions. I'm using sweet onions, and I'm using 10. Cutting up 10. So all you're going to do is slice them up. You're going to dice these. I'm just doing is I cut them in half, then I cut them in slices, and then I'm going to use my Vidalia, and I'm using the large, the large squared insert. This is really nifty. All you do is lay in your slices. Give it a good push, and you have diced onions. How easy was that? And this is really nifty because it has measurements on the side, milliliters on one side, cups on the other. So if you were needing to chop up some onions and needed to measure how many you were chopping, this will give you your measurements right there on the container. And it also comes with an insert to make a finer dice. But for this recipe, we need the chunkies. And I've already pre-diced up the rest of the onions. Now the next thing we're going to need to do is caramelize the onions. So I'm going to put these onions in the pan that I have on my stove here. And to this, I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt. And give this a good stir. Now I'm just going to cook this on fairly low heat until all of the onions are caramelized. This step will take quite a while to do, but it is key to having a nice, sweet, yummy tasting jam. So when this is done caramelizing, I'll bring you back for the next step. Okay, well, our onions have caramelized, and I also added a couple of tablespoons of butter at the bottom of that pan. I forgot to mention that earlier. Now that these have caramelized, this took 2 hours. So just to give you a frame of reference, if you're planning on making this, make sure you leave plenty of time to allow for them to cook down and to caramelize. And you'll want to make sure you do it with the lid off as well, so that all of that moisture can evaporate. Now to this, we're going to add 2 1/4 cups of balsamic vinegar. And I have 2 partial bottles, which I think is about the 2 1/4 cups. So we'll just add that right in. Okay, and to this we are going to add 3 1/2 cups of brown sugar. This is the brown sugar that I made in a recent video. I'll go ahead and link that video up top. Like that. And you can add more or less. Just do it to taste. I'll do the 3 1/2 and then I'll taste it and see. I'll give this a stir until that brown sugar dissolves, and then I'll give it a taste. Oops. Yeah, I think that's enough sugar. Okay, so I'm just going to bring this up to a light boil, and I'm going to let this just cook down for about 15 minutes, and then we'll get it canned up. Okay, this has reduced down for 15 minutes, and I did stir it constantly as it was reducing down to make sure that it didn't stick on the bottom. So now it's time to get this into our jars and get the jars in the canner. I am doing 1/2 pint jars. I'm going to fill them to a 1/4 inch headspace. Good. Make sure you wipe your rim. Put on a lid. Ring finger tight, and then into the canner. Now the canner I'm using, it's actually just a large stock pot that I found a wire rack to go in the bottom of it. So you don't need anything fancy for water bath canning. And before I found the wire rack to go on the bottom, I canned with a kitchen towel at the bottom of the pan. So, doesn't need to be anything fancy. so this yielded exactly 7 half pints. All of my jars are covered with about 2 inches of water. I'm going to bring this to a boil, and then I'm going to process these. The processing time is 10 minutes, but I need to add another 10 minutes for a total of 20 minutes because of my altitude. So I'll bring you back as soon as these are done processing. Okay, so these processed for 20 minutes. I let them sit in the water with the lid off for another 10 minutes, and now they're ready to pull out. They're already pinging. Wonderful. And there we have it. 7 half pints of sweet onion jam. Well, I hope you liked today's video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. And make sure you hit the bell icon to be notified each time I put out a new video. Well, and until next time, I hope you have an amazing day, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye now.